आपण सुरुवातीला फक्त ओम नमोची आज्ञा घेऊ, म्हणजे मग त्या दृष्टीने होईल. सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. महायोगी स्वामी उमानंद सरस्वती की जय. ओम नमोची आज्ञा वेद प्रतिपद्या जय जय स्वसंवेद्या आत्मरूपा गुरुदेवा तुझी गणेशु सकलमती प्रकाशु मणि निवृत्ती दासु अवधारी सुजी. Today we are going to start about Haripath. I would like to start with a small background. When Vitthal Pant and Rukmini, who the parents of Jnaneshwar and the three other brothers and sisters, when they sacrificed their life, as was told to them by the scholars, that the only way of undoing the wrong of turning from an ascetic family to a family life, a worldly life, the only punishment was sort of not stated anywhere, but was finally the only solution was to give up the life. And therefore, the two parents, they go and they give up their life. But they assume that the children will be forgiven and they will lead a normal life, allowed to lead a normal life, especially of Brahminic life. Unfortunately for them, the thread ceremony and all, everything wanted them to have, it was not becoming possible. And the solution that the scholars gave is told the children to go to Paitan, which was considered as one of the more sort of a higher seat of the spiritual level. And they said, go to Paitan and meet the scholars there. And if they forgive you, we will forgive the whole thing. But unfortunately, when they went to Paitan, of course, fortunately, when they went to Paitan, though they were not relieved of all these conditions which were laid earlier, but they were definitely asked by the scholars that the only way they could get back to normalcy was they should keep on chanting the name of Lord. This probably was the leading thread which probably Nyandev, a person like Nyandev, he must have picked it up and said, all right, if this is said by the scholars of Paitan, then why not make it a message to the world? So he must have done it because that would not have been then objected by anybody. There would have been no objection by anybody. So he must have decided to hand over this particular concept to the common man, that all right, keep chanting the name of the Lord and you will be free of all the problems in life. Because that was what was told to him at Paitan by the scholars. So we don't know whether this worked on him or he made use of it, but somehow this became his popular slogan later, and it was handed over to people like the Varkaris. Now we will come to the explanation of Varkaris later, but the message was simple. It was chant the Lord's name. Whether you say Vitthal, 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 or you say Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, whether it is a name directly of the Lord or the mantra related with the Lord, it is the same. One is a functional name and one is the addressing name. So functional name is also considered equally important. That is the name which is given in the form of a mantra. That is a functional name. But the other name also works simultaneously with the same. In Jnaneshwari, a very beautiful, the three names were given. Krishna, Vishnu, Hari Govinda. Now, there were four, Hari Govinda. Suppose we consider them as four, Krishna, Vishnu, Hari Govinda. So I decided I'll continuously repeat the same by changing the order. Krishna, Vishnu, Hari Govinda. Vishnu, Hari Govinda Re. Hari Govinda, Krishna, Vishnu. Govinda, Govinda Re. We just change the names. That's all. The order just keeps on changing. So if you want to create any sort of a name, you can take a single name. You can say Vitthal, 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 Vitthal. As you're praying or whatever you are working also, it should not stop. Now, what was the significance of this chanting of name? So I traced out from Haripath, there are more than 40 advantages of just chanting. 40, not 1, 2, 3, 4, but 40 reasons were given why a chanting could help them to overcome those obstacles. And there are 40 totally. I noted them down. And I thought that was the best way of explaining why should one chant. So let us all take any day, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, and you can take one particular beaded thing if you want, or you can just do, say, 8 to 9 while you're working. You will stick to one name. That's all. Don't worry about it. Of course, the name that you have faith in, you keep on chanting that name or your mantra given to you by your guru. And that should take care of the whole day. Whole day. Of course, we say our swadhyaya is there, we have a Rudra sadhana is there. But even this name, because everybody is not able to recite Guru Gita and Rudra, they are mantras which are they are modulated. They are supposed to be said in a correct manner, and everybody may not be able to say it. So for them, just chanting of name should also be enough. Now, even name some of the people. I had a servant working. I used to say, tell her, you say Guru Om. She say, oh, Om, Guru Om. Even that is difficult for some. Then I used to say just Om. Then she started saying just Om. Doesn't matter. You have to try and use whatever is possible and pass on. That's why probably Nandi gave chanting of name as a common message to Varkaris or to the common man. And Varkari now, the entire group, they are just chanting Vitthal, 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 Vitthal. And this is working wonders and miracles for people. They are able to give up their drinking, their smoking, their bad habits, their cruelties in life, whatever. Let's see what are the advantages of chanting the names. And this is said in Haripath. Now, Haripath is a collection of 27 abhang. They are abhang. They are 27 abhang. They are like songs. But right now, we are not going to use Marathi. We are going to just get the meaning of the songs, more than the meaning of the songs right now. I've just only picked up what is the advantage of the chanting from those 27 abhang. Let's see what are the advantages here. The first advantage is that you will be surely getting liberation. Now, this is one thing we all aspire for, all yogis, all ascetics, all seekers, all spiritual people, philosophers, all of them want liberation. Now, there is nothing like attaining liberation. That is just feeling that you're liberated is important. I had been to Allahabad at the banks of the Ganga, and there were ascetics who were lined up to receive some donations and some food from Advaishananda, another great spiritual leader. And I was standing there, and the holy saints came and very humbly they were taking, but none of them were thinking that they were beggars. And on the other hand, on the beach, there were so many beggars who never thought that they were ascetics. So it's just the feeling. Both of them had nothing. Both of them were willing to stretch their arms and ask for alms. But still, the yogis did not feel they were beggars, and the beggars never felt they were yogis. Now, this is the case of liberation and bondage. So because we feel we are bonded, we are sorrowful, we have our problems, we feel bonded. But actually, there's nothing like bonding, and there's nothing like liberation. It's just identifying yourself with the ultimate that is supposed to be liberation. Anyway, but chanting of name definitely gives you liberation. That is supposed to be the first promise made by Sant Jnanadev in his Abhanga, in his Haripath Abhanga. Then second, he says, now people will say we get liberation, but that is let it be after our when we are die and all. What about now? We need our material riches and comforts. All right, in second Abhanga, Jnanadev promises even worldly riches. Even worldly riches. You just need to keep on chanting the name, my God. I think that's something so easy. We should be able to promote this to as many people as we can. Just keep on asking even the children, let them take their own, let them ask them which Lord do they like. And let them keep on chanting the name. You never know how this is going to work miracles, because it is the easiest way to even liberation and worldly joys also. Worldly joys also. I think the second condition is also, second above also includes this, you will get your worldly riches. Third is also beautiful. Physical, mental illnesses will disappear. Now, there are terminated cases in hospitals and all. I have very few doctors go and tell them, please chant some names. I mean, I think it is the job of the spiritual people that they should just go and encourage them. Encourage them. Doesn't matter. Instead of just sitting there and brooding over, I'm not well, I'm not this. People keep on coming. They say, Kabhi hua, kya hua, what happened? When were you ill? What happened to you? What is the sickness? How much do you pay? All this blabbering, keep it aside for half an hour, 1 hour, and daily every morning for 1 hour, half an hour chant the name with the child. If the person is not well or whoever the person is, you go and just sit and say, let's both chant together. Vittal, 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 Vittal. Or whatever other names, Sri Ganesha Anma, Sri Ganesha Anma, Sri Ganesha Anma, or Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare. I came up with a beautiful thing. Just today, when I was studying this, I realized that my Gurudev had given us two mantras for all arthritic conditions. He had given us Solakshari, 16 mantras in one, 16 words, in 16 alphabets in one. So she had asked us to recite, which are 16 words together, and they are for the 16 joints, because we have joints, they are 16 in number. So the joints, the pain and all has to go. She used to say Solakshari mantra. See this mantra again and again. And it was Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is 16. And I remember having guided one lady from Nagpur, Mrs. Joshi. She was to get her knee operated and she was uncomfortable. So I told her, try this mantra for some time. And within 1.5 months, the doctor said, you don't need a knee operation. So today again, I said my knee was hurting me a little. So I said, let me just say it so that I know I'm going to convincingly promote this concept. So I said, I kept my hand on my knee and I said, Hare Krishna for 54 times, because my beads were carrying 54. So I did it. And surprisingly to me, the knee pain just vanished. Just vanished. So there is no harm in trying. And the second mantra, which is equally important, is Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. This was the mantra given to us for food. Before we had our meals there in the ashram, we were told to say this because that would cure all the abdominal problems. Now it is up to us. If we can just do it, if we can just promote it also, or teach the children, or teach the people you come in contact. If they're not well with serious ailments and all, just tell them the more and more you chant, the more and more the illness is going to disappear. So there was, and also along with it, it is like collecting merits. Name also gives you merits, or even Dan can give you merits. So even if you keep on offering, but a person who's already, people like cancer and all, they are already in their own depression. We cannot ask them to go and donate certain things. Instead of, the name is the easiest way. So we need to just uh, push them into it, or encourage them into it, or install their faith in the name. That is very important for us. Now there was a fourth one. All obstacles which are removed, which are in the way of your even spiritual journey or your day-to-day life. Sometimes the servant won't come, sometimes the gas is not there, sometimes whatever. Sometimes probably in US and all this ice, snowfall is so much that you cannot get out of the house. Whatever the reason may be. Sometimes you're not able to, your mobile doesn't work. Sometimes all these obstacles also can be taken care of just by chanting the names. I know many of them. I know there was one case I had, it was an old friend of mine, very old friend of mine on this path when we had started the journey. The girl was returning back from her college function, and near some hospital, essentially the hospital in Pune, four nasty boys stopped the rickshaw and they were forcing that girl to get out. So, this girl just kept on saying Guru Om, Guru Om, Guru Om, because she was part of the ashram. She kept on saying it, and somehow, what God alone knows where the strength came, the rickshawala stood up. He said, "You touched my passenger, and tomorrow I will kill all four of you by bringing all my rickshawalas." So she's my duty. Now you don't know how all these things are going to work. And of course, they had to let the girl go, and she was safely dropped home. The girl ended sobbing and sobbing, but can you imagine what a horrifying experience it could have been? So the names save us. We don't realize the significance of it. We need to remember, we need to remind people, keep in mind, it should be the first instinct. First instinct is start calling for the Lord's name. Then we have the fifth one. One can attain even the love of Lord if you want. You can attain by just chanting His name. You need to love. Of course, we need Him now. How many of us really love God? We don't. We can't associate that word love with God. So initially, we are not. We are no. We know Him. People have talked about Him. We have regards for Him. We need His help. But love. How many of us really love? Like Mirabai love, or all these saints who Nandi loved Vitala. All this love. Love has to be in your heart for God, and that comes when you keep on chanting. That's the fifth advantage Nandi gives through this Haripath Abhanga. Then sixth, he realizes one who keeps on chanting, one day suddenly realizes that this entire world is nothing but a manifestation of Lord Himself. Today I came across a very beautiful example given. Now Nandi talks about the sweetness in jaggery. So he says, suppose the mold is changed. There was the square cubes of jaggery, and there was a big lump of jaggery. So he says, it is not the world. The world changes form. It has nothing to do with the form. Then what happens? Whatever the form is taken, the sweetness keeps occupying jaggery. Like that, whatever form the world takes, because world is continuously changing. It is changing because our desires keep on adding. Therefore, the change has to come in. We act according to desires, and the changes are made. The borders change, the lines of demarcation change, the rivers take the change, the mountains take the change, the winds blow differently, the sun sets somewhere else. All this keeps on happening. But this change it only shows that the Brahmatva, like just the sweetness of the jaggery was there in whichever form the jaggery took. Similarly, world, whichever form the world takes, jaggery, the sweetness of the Brahmatva will continue to exist in that. It was a very beautiful example, perfect to the point, because it helps you to understand. What if the jaggery is broken into two? Does it mean the sweetness is broken? No. There's sweetness here again, there's sweetness here again. You again further break into four. Again, the sweetness continues to prevail in all. So that is the way the entire Brahmatva or the Chaitanya or the universal consciousness or whom we call God are all there in this changing form also of the world. It continues to exist without any difference. Then the second thing, all four Purusharthas you get. What are the four Purusharthas? The Dharma, Artha, Kam and Moksha. Dharma is righteousness. Artha is, of course, your finance and worldly economics and all. And Kam is desires. And Moksha is liberation. Now, these are the four main objectives of man. What does man need? Last time we studied what are the basic needs of mankind. Similarly, these four things, what can you can just get out of here? Yes, if you really implicitly have faith in the name and keep on chanting it, you will never run short of these four things in life. And I think this is the easiest way. You don't need to sit on asana, you don't need to breathe, you don't need to practice breathing. Everything becomes normal. You just keep chanting the name. You can do it in a beautiful way. You can say, you can take a tune, you can apply a tune and do it. You don't have to just keep saying Vitthal, Vitthal, Vitthal. You can say Vitthala, 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 Vitthala. Take any tune you want and you enjoy that mood you enjoy, that complete harmony you enjoy, the bliss you enjoy, the movement you enjoy, and let your heart flow with it. Because this is going to get to everything. We will never run short of anything. Then it adds to our merits. So that is another very important thing. We just keep on adding merits to ourselves. Now we don't realize sometimes. A very beautiful story I would like to tell you. One day, a man donated all he had in the form of possessions. He donated all that to the poor and all. And then at night, a Devdut entered his house, and he was God's messenger. And the man said, I think you are a divine soul because you are full of luster and brightness and all. He says, yes, I'm a Devdut. I'm a messenger of God. This is what, how come you have come to my place? This is, today, haven't you donated everything? So he said, yes, yes, I know I have given away whatever I have donated, and I hope it has made difference to my meritorious account. He said, it has just cleared away all the debts of the last life. Your last birth's debts have been cleared. So, I mean, this is something very, so he was like stunned. So you don't know how much more we are going to keep on needing that. So we keep on, and it's a countless thing. You are working, you're washing your clothes, you're washing your utensils, you're cleaning the house, you're dusting the floor, or what, dusting this items around, or folding your sheets, or cooking. It doesn't matter. Whatever you're doing, name is not going to obstruct that. So keep on chanting it. It is the easiest meditation I could think of. And let's practice it sometime. Now you have all scriptures will bless us. Now knowledge, again, as I said, just chanting name. Yes, the most illiterate person also will become wise. Because wisdom has nothing to do with text. Yes, there is certain information not available and available. But wisdom is application of knowledge to any present situation, which has to emerge like as instant remedy, like an instant remedy. And that is freely available. That is freely available. If you just chant his name, he is going to see that you get all the even scriptures will bless you, says that. Now imagine Ramayana, Mahabharata, all these texts are going to just come and dawn upon you in the form of knowledge if you keep on chanting Hare Ram, whatever it is. So we could try that out. And we can ask common man to try, but even those who are trying to become like leading people to the others should practice this at least for half an hour per day and of your own choice, with mantra of your choice. Now, just one name is enough. You don't have to study entire Ved, says Nandi. You don't need to study Ved to get enlightened. You just need to chant the name. I mean, this is the easiest way. And who has said this? Sant Jnandev has said it, who himself was highly, I mean, he was knowledge incarnation. And yet he has given us the easiest way out because he knows it's not easy to practice on Brahma Murta. It is not easy to practice pranayam. It's not easy to practice yogic practices, austerities, or reading difficult texts and all. It's not easy to understand text. So he says, don't worry about all that. You just chant. Somebody will pop into your life and give you the knowledge as if it is kept on the on your right hand. Anyway, then there's another one which is you will realize that Hari is every. Your chanting will bring him into any form, and you will get the help of that person anywhere. There was some time back at BM and all I had gone. At that time, I had realized that Akkalkot Swami was Swami Samarth was somehow definitely coming to my rescue at many places. And I was quite surprised because I had seen him once in my morning vision and dream. And I had gone to a Kumbh Mela in my dream, and I had asked for a person who was an authority on Shaivism. So somebody pointed out to Swami Samartha, who was with his back towards me. And when I went close to him, Akkalkot Swami, he turned and he sort of looked at me, and there was some very beautiful experience I had then. And later when I went to BMM and all, there were so many others. Every time there was one at the stall where I was there. One fellow came, he helped me with some work, and then he said, I'm also a follower of Swami Samartha. Then I went to another devotee's house. He had his house had a huge picture of Swami Samartha. So somehow I kept on feeling that this time probably Swami Samartha is blessing me. So doesn't have to be that you are his follower or you are his bhakta. It is just that that saint is now very every saint will be pleased and happy with you. Every God will be happy with you. There is no religion and all which is going to demarcate them. It is we, for us, we need all that unnecessary demarcation. They don't need it. So you have to remember, all gods will bless you. He occupies the world, and the world therefore is Vaikuntha alone itself. Gandhi says, God is there in every individual that I meet here. So how can I say that I would like to go to Vaikuntha and see? He is already there, and I am. It is his place that I am living in. Now, the 15th advantage, name will fill your mind, your intellect, and your life. It will slowly and slowly capture your mind, your intellect, and life. Don't worry, that is not going to stop your living, normal living. You will still be hungry, you'll still be eating, you'll still be drinking, you'll still be sleeping, you'll be still watching movies. So that's not going to distract that. But it's going to be there all the time. Now, do you have to all the time remind yourself, do you forget that you are a lady or you are a man? Because you are eating and drinking and sleeping and all? No, you don't forget. Exactly like that, the name you will not forget. You will be all the time with the name and you'll be sure it's there with you. Just like I know I'm a lady, whether I sing or dance or talk or work or sleep or whatever I do, I know I'm a lady. Do I need to tell myself like that? The name will be with you. The name will be with you. Now, it says it will give you all the unattained objectives. All the unattained. If there is anything you still want to attain and you have not attained it yet, why not try that? Why not try? See, all right, this is, let's say if I want, say I want a chance to address a dais of say 5,000 people. Say this is an example. Suppose I really need to do that, then, or I want to appear on TV. So you never know. If you want, then okay, if something unattained, all right, then sit and do your chanting and let's see how many number of times I need to say. There are certain numbers allotted to various, the Guru Mantra is 64,000. So even if you want to do a certain activity with 64,000 times, if you say, you don't have to say it in one day. You can do it at your own time. But once that is done, probably the whatever is needed will be attained. Then you have another very beautiful thing may happen to you is your extrovert mind will start getting introvert without any other discipline forced on it. You don't have to force the mind to say, stop thinking this, stop worrying about that, stop talking about this, and don't look at this person, don't look at that person, don't look at the movies, nothing like that. You just chant the name and gradually the mind will start becoming introvert. It's a very beautiful and easy way of doing it. When you have, it dissolves all the bondages. All that feeling that you are stuck. You are stuck by certain things. Now, maybe you have some unfriendly neighbors and you feel, my God, you are all the time stuck with them now. It's a permanent house. You are going to be permanently there. No, you never know. You may just be reciting, chanting names. I know of people in the offices, if the bosses are bad and we chant the names, the bosses get transferred. They get transferred. You don't have to worry. They get transferred. And after some time, you'll realize, my God, he was working for me. What happened? He's just gone somewhere else. He got transferred, not you. Remember. So this is what can happen to us. So we will never be stuck with anything which is not right for us. So we will get free from it. So this also is very tempting a thing for you to, of course, keep a good motive in mind. Let's not discard everybody in the life. So we have to get along with everyone. But in case, now you can taste something which is called Amrit, that is elixir. Now that is supposed to be when the yogic prakriya happens and the kundalini rises to Sahasrara, then it tilts the moon-like crescent in the head, and which when it tilts down, it starts dripping elixir. And that when you start tasting it, your entire body starts changing its time feature. You'll become younger by nature, by heart, by thought, by mind, and by health. So this is the beauty of the elixir, which is there. Now that can be tasted if you only chant the names. You don't need to sit and do meditation and all, but you can chant. Then it was Vishakama. I hope you're recording. Yes, good. Now it burns all the sins away. My God, this is another very frightful thing. We tend to commit so many sins without realizing. And they are with us not only for this life, we don't know what we have done in last life. Then Brother Samhita ends up telling all the things to us. I opened mine also, I must have also done something wrong, and all that is recorded in it. So if it is recorded in the book, then can you imagine it is recorded in my karma? So I got to clear that. Now the best way, Nandev says, the best way to even clean your sins is keep on chanting the name. Now I think that gives me a good reason to sit and do one mala of name every day. Come what may. Of course, when we are meditating, I do say Guru Om, Guru Om. But I'm just giving an idea, that's also a naam. But still, if those who want to make it more melodious, more like a music and all in your life, you can take up and sing some bhajan. That's why bhajan singing is considered as one of the powerful sadhana. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, those who do kirtan of my name, I am not there in the temples at that time, I am in their houses. I am sitting near them. I had an experience when I was at Alandi and I was singing Zohar for Gyandev India in Alandi temple. A small boy came at that time and sat in my chair and heard the songs, and just then the arti took place and all, and everybody noticed the boy. Of course, none of them told me, but the boy was so little, very charismatic, and with the gandha and all put. And after some time, the child just ran away, and then later everybody told me, I think Nandev came. I said, why didn't you all tell me? I was busy singing. You never know. You never know if you are really engrossed in singing some bhajans. You never know somebody. In some form, God will come to hear it. Because who doesn't love to be loved by someone and praised by somebody? Even God loves it. So if somebody is going to sing my praise and God's praise and God's name and all, and get involved and almost as if intoxicated by it, then God is bound to be there. Bound to be there. Then you have chanting keeps another very beautiful thing, enemy away. That's a very interesting thing. Otherwise, nowadays we are having so many problems. I mean, people are the boys just go shoot out somebody, kill somebody, and all. We had some very strange experiences during bombing here sometimes back. One of our family ashram people, they were very close to that when the bomb exploded. And luckily, they were about just 10 feet or 20 feet in the safer region. So this is how somewhere God can help you, provided we keep on chanting His name in some way or the other, and it keeps the enemy away. I think for even India or any country which wants the enemy country to keep not into the background, I think chanting of name should be considered as one of the practices by the seekers, and they should keep on chanting. And with the sankalpa in mind that I'll do one mala every day of chanting, God, please keep the enemy country under control. And they need not have to be destroyed, but they also need to keep in mind that wars or things like that are not going to add to welfare of mankind. Anyway, chanting can keep the enemy away. Another better thing they say is it will keep death also. Now, can you imagine? At least I know of people who who were almost on deathbed and they were about to go, but they recouped and they lived for another 2 years because they had some work undone, incomplete, and they came back again and they completed that because there were intense prayers offered near them. There was a very beautiful movie I would like to recommend all of you to see, The Golden Child or something, Golden Child, I think. That was the name of the movie. All of you can go and see it. And it's a very beautiful, I will leave it at that. So watch the movie. And then you get another very nice thing. Chanting can even lead you to self-realization. You can go to self-realization. That is knowing yourself. Knowing yourself. As I had told you, if you want to know the light, hold the lamp. Like that, if you want to know the ultimate, you know yourself. So knowing yourself can come by mere chanting. You don't have to keep your eyes closed and all. You continue to chant, just that your mind should know that you are chanting. You should know that you're chanting. Then another 28th advantage I'm reading now. 28th advantage is one becomes very pious. You tend to become pure. Now imagine if you want to drink water, you want pure water. You want to have ghee, you want to have pure ghee. Want to wear new clothes, you want all new and fresh clothes. So purity of mind, body and intellect for a person. Can you imagine how beautiful that person must be looking? So the purity of the person is going to make one, the chanting of the name is going to make a person pious. Piety is what is respected and revered by people on. However bad they may be on their own. But if they see a man, a gentleman, a noble lady, they will see that they are respected in their own ways. Now, then there is another thing, advantage, which is you can become immortal. Now, immortality is something which one needs. We all, or we, in some way or the other, sometimes we dream of it. That my God, we should never die. But my father used to very sweetly amuse me with that. He used to say, "What if you live for 5,000 years, then they will make you sit in a museum, and people will come by and keep on saying, yes, she's 5,000 years old, and walk away. Would you like that?" But this used to be just an amusing talk. My father was a great writer. He had his own ways. Okay. Then not only you, but even your family members end up seeing gods. If you are chanting, your family members also end up seeing gods. That's something so beautiful. If I have to tell my son or my grandson that I want you to chant names and all, they will have their reasons to give me. One is young, one is old. I mean, they'll say, no, we are not interested, whatever it is. But suppose I keep on chanting and I tell my God, I said, now you have to look after them also. It's my desire. Yes, they will also be taken care of. So it's a very beautiful way of doing it. Then ultimately, Gnandev says man also becomes God. Now that's something for people. Other people start looking at such a man as a holy person. As a holy person, an enlightened person he becomes. Enlightened person becomes. Then he also becomes stable at mind. However difficulties they come in, then he will say, all right, I'm sure they'll be taken care of. I'm sure it will get solved. So he doesn't panic. He doesn't panic. Now I'll give you a simple example of panic. It's my example, so I don't mind telling about it. I had gone to a railway station and I was to board a train to Bombay. And my nephew had come to see me off and he says, you wait here, I'll see that you are made to sit in your seat. I said, okay. And he went by, then another train came. So the moment the train came, I got into panic and I got into the train. So my nephew, he was searching for me and I was already in the train. So I thought I did a good job and I was sitting there. So one gentleman came to me, he said, this is my seat. I said, no, no, this is my seat. The numbers were same, but the train was different. I was in a train which was going away from Bombay. They asked me, said, please, man, get out quickly. When I got down, my nephew comes and tells me, are you Amish for sure? That is known as panic. So I'll just give you an example of panic. So panic is what should not come into your life. Otherwise, you can do small blunders like this. So we have to be blessed. We have to be stable. One attains peace. Peace is another very beautiful thing. Yeah, of course, we experience it occasionally. Sometimes we are sitting alone and having a cup of tea. We enjoy peace. But so if the situations have gone bad somewhere in the house between relatives and all, however much you are comfortable within the sofa with a comfort zone around you, AC on, yet your mind is restless. Now, if that stability has to come to your mind, obviously it means that things around you have to become stable. And chanting can do it. So if there is a problem, first thing you should start as an instant remedies, start chanting. Start chanting the name. Let the name take care of the situations. Yeah, let them take them. Then there is another. The delusory world does not distract you. It is called Maya, but I didn't want to say Maya because I thought I'll be having one of the millionth daughter will be there. So I said I would use the word, but anyway, she doesn't seem to be there. Is she there? No. So it's okay. So that delusory state does not come into your life. You tend to be rarely delusioned by it. Now, it also dissolves the faults. Now, we all have certain faults in us. Whatever it is, sometimes we may be, our faults are, you name them and they are there. Either you sometimes talk loudly, or you shout at the servants, or you fight with the rickshawalas, or you fight over the small change with the bajiwalas. All this fault, these are faults. Getting irritated, getting bitter, the kam, krodh, mada, matsar, moha, they are faults. And we all of them have them in our small proportions in us. So we need to get rid of these. And chanting again, he says, will help you. Then there are 4 types of liberations, he says. Mukti, there are 9 types of mukti. We will not talk about that now. Right now, we'll just consider that it gives you liberation. The easiest way is the Naam. And Kali, that is the evil effects of the material world, which is there around us. Evil effects of the material world will not come in your way. They will not come in your way. Now, of course, we will end up with an enlightenment, there's no doubt. But one very nice thing in the end, Gandhi says, which I must tell you. He says, today a state has come. I have stopped taking the name, but the Lord who dwells in me is taking that name continuously, and I am able to hear it. I am able to hear. The Lord is sitting in my heart and He's taking the name. This was a very beautiful experience. Namdev's devotee, what was her name? Danabai. She used to make the cakes of cow dung. And while making, she used to make them, and she used to keep on saying, Vittal, 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 Vittal. And later, after a few days, somebody stole her cow dung cakes. And then both of them ended up before a couple of decision-making people. So Namdev says, I will differentiate, I will find out which is made by Zanabai. And he kept on picking each cake and cow dung cake and held it to the ear. And the word was Vittal, 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 Vittal. Then he segregated them. He says, this is Zanabai's and this is. Now this is Chittam Mantra, then Chaitanyam Atma Chittam Mantra. That means your Chitta, if it becomes like mine, your mind becomes like Chitta, means with mantra, completely engrossed in mantra, then all the laws which are applicable to the body will start uh, the wrong aspects of it will stop functioning wrongly on you. If there is a pain, you won't feel the pain. If there is a swelling, it will go away. Whatever is applicable to a physical law, because now it is fully occupied by mantra alone, all these external effects of the worldly, which is applicable at body level, will not work. So this is the importance of Naam. And I'm very happy I touched this text. This is Haripath. And we won't go into the verses of it right now, but I've given you the contents of it. And next time I'm going to do the same with Samdev Pasashti. And that is the 4th text of Jnandev. We have already touched Amrutanubhav. We have given glimpses of Jnaneshwari. And we will also continue. We will continue doing it. There will be hundreds of topics which will be emerging. But along with it, first basic background we need to know. What is the background? Yesterday in Amrutanubhav we saw that everything only changes. There is no perishability. The immortal becomes mortal, the mortal becomes immortal. There was no perishability. Then we realized how knowledge dawns. We came up with different topics and we will continue to do it. But right now, I think this is the topic. Today we touched on Haripath. Now the time of palanquin is reaching Pandharpur now. On 12th, they will be going to Pandharpur. And I'm glad we are studying during this particular period of Vari. Okay. We'll talk about Varkaris also. They are actually a very good clan. It started with Tukaram's son who had started this. I think Narayan was his name. He started carrying the palanquin and the palki from one Dehu to this, and this picked up. The common man started gathering around, and today the number has reached more than lakhs, 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs, and well, this is the importance of chanting. Any questions? I don't have your mics are mute. Please unmute them. Unmute your mic so I can hear you all.
ताई नमस्कार, ते राजू.
राजू, काय म्हणतो, कुठेस?
नाही ताई, नाम घेताना आपल्याला काय असं बंधन असायला पाहिजे का? म्हणजे एकाच वेळेला घेतलं पाहिजे, एका ठिकाणी
नाही, काही नाही. नो
घेतलं
बंधन.
पाहिजे असं?
नाही, केव्हाही चालू ठेवा. नाव चालू ठेवा. जेव्हा जमेल तेव्हा घेत राहायचं. आणि घेत राहा. तुला तरी इतका टफ जॉब आहे. तुला जेव्हा जमेल तेव्हा तू घे.
म्हणूनच आहे म्हणजे वेळेचं असं म्हणजे एका स्पेसिफिक टायमिंगला घेतलं पाहिजे की किती म्हणजे नंबर ऑफ चॅन्टिंग केलं पाहिजे असं काही आहे की?
नाही, राईट नाव डोंट. इफ यू डोंट हॅव टाइम, द बेस्ट वे इज टू डू इट व्हेनेवर यू हॅव टाइम. Just see that you remember it. That's very important.
When suppose I'm traveling,
Yes.
I'm traveling to the office and I'm in a bus or in a train or something like that, in a car.
Please.
Okay.
भरपूर घ्या. I remember when we went to Badri Kedar, while going by car, we kept on saying 108 times Mantreshwari. Every time we escaped a point, then there were landslides. The landslides did not hurt us. I am telling you, name is going to save us. So keep on repeating. I normally, what I do when I'm at home, I'm studying. So my name and all, I take it when I'm traveling from home to the ashram or home to different places, and I keep on studying Guru Gita and Rudra on my way. So similarly, you all must practice now. And whenever there is a problem, first instant remedy you turn to is now. Okay. Any other question? Shirali, your mic. Vishakha, your mic is off. It's off. Yes, now I can hear you. Now, any question, Vishakha?
No. Okay. But I would be interested more now into going into details. This was very beautiful. It came more like an introduction.
Yes.
We can go further deeper.
Yes. And this was, we need to know the advantages so that we can pass on this message. We need to know the advantages so that we can pass on the message to either youngsters, to school children, or people who are in the, even in the prisons. If there are people there, we can tell them, continuously start chanting names. That is very important. So let's hope we can reach out to these people. And Anil, Shirali, Seema, any question? Okay, very good. I think Neena is also there, but I don't see her. Neena, how did you like it?
Very beautiful. A small request from me, Thai. A small request from me. Could you conclude the session, please, with Krishna, Vishnu, Hari, Govinda?
We'll sing one line only of it. Krishna, Vishnu, Hari, Govinda. Vishnu, Hari, Govinda, Hari, Govinda. Krishna, Vishnu, Govinda, Govinda, महिमा तुझी न जाणता प्रमाद हाती घडला रे हरे हरे कृष्णा म्हणे पारता तुझे मानलो सखारी. So enjoy the bhajan. Someday we'll sing bhajan songs. Okay. Thank you, Neena. Thank you. Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Shweta, you are here also.
Yes, Gurudeva. Jai Gurudeva.
How did you like it?
Gurudeva, I joined late, but mast hoता एकदम.
Very good. I'm glad. Okay. Let's
Yes,
keep in touch. Let's try and pass on the message. Let's, especially Vishaka, if you can reach even the students or even the prisoners and all. I mean, since you are there, you are working towards a goal. So might as well pass it on. Even I'll try and do, if there's something I can do, we'll work towards it. Okay? Okay.
Yes,
We'll
thank you.
end the session with Pasaidan.
Yes.
आता विश्वात्मके देवी येणे वाक्यज्ञे तुषावे तुषो निमसग्यावे पसाय दान हे जे खळांची व्यंकटी सांडो तया सत्कर्मी रती वाढो भूता परस्परे जडो मैत्र जीवाचे दुरितांचे तिमिर जावो विश्व स्वधर्म सूर्य पाहो जो जे वांछील तो ते लाहो प्राणी जात वर्षत सकल मंगळी ईश्वर निष्ठांची मांदियाळी अनवरत भूमंडळी भेट तू भूता चला कल्पतरूंचे आरव चेतना चिंतामणीचे गाव बोलते जे अर्णव पियुषाचे चंद्रमे जे अलांछन मार्तंड जे तापहीन ते सर्वाही सदा सज्जन सोयरी होतू किंबहुना सर्व सुखी पूर्ण होऊनी तिन्ही लोकी भजिजो आदि पुरुखी अखंडित आणि ग्रंथोपजीवे विशेषी लोकी दृष्टादृष्ट विजये होवावेजी येथ म्हणे श्री विश्वेश्वरा हो हा होईल दान पसावो येणे वरे ज्ञान देवो सुखिया झाला सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय
महायोगी स्वामी उमानंद सरस्वती की जय, स्वामी राधानंद सरस्वती की जय. जय गुरुदेव.
Okay, so good night. Okay,
Right.
yeah.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Guru.
We end. Yes, Vishaka. Okay.